my channel. It's Mona from Mona's Life, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my travels recently to Iceland and a few tips on actually what I wish I prepared for a little earlier on. So I hope this video is helpful if you are planning a trip to Iceland sometime soon. So my husband and I actually planned this trip a little bit in advance just because we are expecting a baby early next year, and we did want to go ahead and just have something like a baby moon just before the baby's born. We just needed one more trip to enjoy each other's company before we have additional family member. So let's dive right in. And the first thing I definitely want to talk about a little bit about Iceland that I actually was not expecting is definitely how expensive it is over there. It is expensive as hell. And I live in New York City, Brooklyn, and you know, New York's already very expensive. I didn't expect it to be that much more expensive than New York, but it was very expensive. And by expensive I mean the food is insanely expensive. To eat out every day for two people, at least it's gonna be like $100 per person a day, close to $100, unless like you want to cook and go to a restaurant. I mean, not a restaurant, unless you want to cook and go to like the supermarket and buy like, you know, groceries and stuff. My husband and I, we like to eat out. When we're on vacation, we don't want to spend time cooking and cleaning. We just want to go out, eat, enjoy ourselves. So for us, it literally probably costs about $100 a day to eat, probably a little bit more because we do eat a lot. So before you plan your trip to Iceland, make sure you're ready to spend a lot of money on food, unless you're like looking to go on a budget and again go to a supermarket, and that is up to you. We didn't shop at the grocery stores, so I don't know how expensive the groceries are, but yeah, Iceland itself, very, very expensive. Even like the gift shops, oh my lord, the gift shops were so expensive. So I didn't actually bring back any gifts for any of my friends or family. I literally just brought like bookmarks that were like $2. Call me cheap. The second thing I do want to talk about is needing cash. So initially we like to travel with a little bit of cash of whatever currency we are headed to, whichever country. But in this case, in Iceland, you really do not need any cash, in my opinion. We literally didn't even have to use our cash. We purposely used it because we did take some. We only took 200 US, and that was fine. We didn't need it. We did spend it, which was, you know, cool. And just keep in mind, they'll give you back change. And when you come back to the US, usually getting change exchange for like cash is almost impossible. So if you want to come back home with change, take cash. Otherwise, Apple Pay, debit cards, everything works. We did only use our Apple cards. So if you have an Apple card, Apple does not charge you an international fee. So I do recommend applying for an Apple card. Yes, definitely don't need to take cash. Just take your debit and credit cards or Apple Pay. Apple Wallet is accepted literally everywhere. I also recommend 100% renting a car. If you don't rent a car, honestly, you're kind of gonna be stranded in Reykjavík. And I know they have some bus tours and stuff, but why go on a bus tour when you could just have a car and have the freedom of driving through the whole country? It is beautiful, guys. It is so beautiful. Some drives are as close as 40 minutes and change, and some drives are about an hour, and then we did a road trip which was like 5 hours, but having the car was like a plus. Definitely rent a car, especially if you're like comfortable driving. I'm not comfortable driving, so my husband is the one that did all the driving. And you don't need an international license. Just have your regular driver's license and you should be good to go. My husband actually thought he needed an international driver's license, similar to when we went to Japan. But for Japan, you do need one, but for Iceland, you didn't. Just, again, double check. But for us, we did not need it, which was really cool. And we kind of wasted money on the international license this time around, even though it's not that expensive. Oh my goodness, guys. I want to emphasize this. Make sure you buy an adapter for your charger or for anything. Like for me, I wanted to do my hair while I was in Iceland, and we didn't buy an adapter till we got there. It is not hard to find one. There's this little cute shop in Reykjavik, which is like an electronics store, and very affordable. It was like maybe $8, $7. But be careful. If you go to one of those gift shops or something and they sell it there, they're gonna charge you like $20. There's something called a 111. It's like a 7-Eleven, and they were charging for the same adapter that I got for $7, like $20. I was just like, whoa. So definitely go to the local shops to buy something like that. If you didn't already plan ahead, I recommend just buying one before you are planning on leaving. You know, I realized all this very last minute, so we kind of took it by wing when we got to Iceland. But yes, don't forget the adapter, especially if you're from the US like us and, you know, need to plug your phone in the wall and any like devices that you do use to plug in here in the US. Also, we did do a quick 2-day road trip. So it was, I don't know exactly what it was called, but we visited the waterfalls, we wanted to see the Diamond Beach, but we only got to see the Lagoon. It was so beautiful, but it did take 5 hours to drive there and then 5 hours to drive back to Reykjavik. But definitely book a hotel in advance. You obviously don't want to drive out and then have to drive back the same day. So we definitely stayed. We stayed in the countryside for a little while. It was amazing. There's this hotel, I think it's called Fosshotel, and it's like in this isolated area of Iceland, and it just feels insane. I wish we booked that in advance. We definitely would have stayed 2 nights if we knew that it would be how it was. And yeah, but we just stayed for 1 night and then we drove back the next day and viewed a lot of the other sightseeing places for tourists. So yes, if you're planning on staying in Iceland, you know, just make sure that is something that you had planned ahead. That's what I recommend. Also, oh my lord, the waterfalls are beautiful in Iceland, but just keep in mind, if you want to really walk through it, you're gonna get wet, and you're gonna get soaking wet actually. So I have I'm going to be adding obviously clips throughout the entire video so you guys can see a little bit of our experience in Iceland, but we got drenched at this waterfall. I don't remember the name, and I know I butchered the name if I said it anyway, but I'll leave like the description, everything down below or here in the video. But yeah, one, have like a poncho, waterproof jacket, something waterproof, shoes waterproof. If you're visiting the waterfalls, you're gonna get soaking wet, especially if you want, again, like I said, if you want to go fully around it. We did have a change of clothes, but we just didn't expect to change so early on. So if you really want to enjoy Iceland, definitely get prepared for getting soaking wet in the waterfalls. And on that same note, definitely have a change of clothes. You want to, obviously, if you're headed on a 5-hour road trip like we did, or even a longer road trip that I know you could definitely do in Iceland, because I heard there's like a 5-day road trip you can do in Iceland, which we didn't get to do this time around. Hopefully in the future, because Iceland is definitely one of the most beautiful countries I've ever visited. Not that I've been to like a billion countries, but oh my lord, Iceland is gorgeous. But yes, definitely bring a change of clothes on any road trip, because you just never know what's expected out there. I also made this mistake, which I usually do when I travel. I did the same thing when we went to Japan, but definitely call ahead to your phone company and let them know you're traveling outside the US, and have them set up a plan where your phone works there for about a week or so. So I have T-Mobile, and when I got to Iceland, I called them and I was like, look, my phone's working very slow, and I paid like $35 to have a speeded internet while we were international. I did the same thing when we were in Japan. Just make sure your phone company supports that, or otherwise I think you're able to get like a SIM card when you land, but I think that's so much work, and I feel our phone companies could provide similar services without going through that. I don't know how much cheaper a SIM card would be, but I just find it, again, more convenient to just call my phone company and get that done. And I just want to say, although it is very expensive in Iceland, and I'm talking specifically about the food, not like shopping and stuff. Shopping's expensive anywhere, but the food is so tasty, and we weren't expecting the food to be good. I just thought, you know, it just wouldn't have like the tastiest food, but they have very good traditional dishes. Definitely try everything Iceland has to offer as far as their fish, cod. We didn't try the lamb too much, but we did go to this best soup in Reykjavik restaurant, and oh my lord, that soup was so good. It's like this whole entire bread bowl, and then you could eat the whole bowl, and like the soup was so good. Icelandic food is so tasty. Definitely eat it. Pizza is so good there, and do not miss out on the fish and chips. I'm gonna leave the restaurant's name either in the video or down below. You guys need to go to this fish and chip spot. Their fish and chips has so much flavor, so delicious. The french fries are amazing. And then the last thing I do want to say is, if you are planning a trip to Iceland, we only went for 5 days, kind of like 6 days, but not a full 6 days. I recommend going to Iceland for at least 7 to 10 to 2 weeks. 7 days, 10 days, or 2 weeks, because there's just so much to do, so much to see, and I feel we did experience so much in a short time, and it was amazing, but I really wish we got to stay a little bit longer and just enjoy more of the scenery and not feel so rushed to get everything done. I'm sure we would have done like a 3-day, 4-day road trip if we had a little bit more time. Iceland is gorgeous, guys. So I hope this video was helpful. I did want to make a similar video like this for Japan, which I definitely want to get to, but Iceland was just so breathtaking, and it was a very quick trip. I wanted to get out everything now, that way I didn't forget to mention anything. I wrote my little notes. But yes, if you guys like this video and would like to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so again, you keep updated with anything I do post. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.